Ultra Trail Australia is a huge race in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. It's 162 kilometers, but the big thing is that you have over 7,000 meters of climbing during it. So it's significantly more than Tarawera and Kosciuszko that I'd done before.
Hey.
Hi.
Good, I'm trying to document as I go.
Alright, so...
With my worst case planning, I could still finish the race, but also there was not a lot of leeway in there. If my worst case was not the worst case and it started going even more poorly than that, then I would quickly get timed out of and be chasing cutoffs and drop out of the whole thing.
Well, that was easy. Chicken done. Got pace bib. Well set. Now for a day of chilling before things kick off. Afternoon before the race. Getting set up in the house. John has his control station. And I am busy getting all my stuff ready. Race day morning. It is 4 in the morning. Had reasonable sleep, had my breakfast. Vaguely ready. We're gonna go to the start line. Oh man, these things are big. Just kind of have to get started and hope it works out.
This is where the first of my strategies came in. Is normally I know that in these bigger ultras, there's about 450 people that were competing in this one. And you get quickly onto single trails and there's going to be people bunching up. It's going to be, and so things are going to go slower than you might want to at the start because there's just too many people ahead of you. You end up walking and stuck. And so I normally try to start in the first, 4 to the halfway mark, like the first kind of quarter to halfway of people. And so I can push it a little bit harder at the start and not get caught up in all those things. But this time around I was like, no. You are not a runner that finishes at that stage. You are definitely a mid to backpack runner. So start in that position now. And if you go slow, you go slow. If you end up walking, if you end up taking a lot longer in this first bit, that's completely fine. You can focus on your nutrition. You are going to nail your nutrition.
Okay, everybody, let's count them in together. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good one. Enjoy yourself.
Cheers.
Thank you. Absolutely. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
You tell everyone you run 100 miles, but here's how they start.
Just a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Like, can't go anywhere.
And that first part of the race is just, you are a slave to your watch. It's like, at the half-hour mark, I'm having a muesli bar or I'm having something to eat. At the 45-minute mark, I need to make sure that I've drunk at least half of one of my bottles and got enough of my electrolyte mix. At the 1 hour mark, I need to be having a couple of dextrose tablets and I've got to have some ginger chews to keep my stomach going. Then when we're back into the 15 minutes mark, past the hour, I need to be having part of the next drink. Half an hour, I've got to be having another muesli bar, and you just bang, 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 like constantly counting down to when you've got to get that next bit of food in you.
Okay, like, this decent climb up out of the canyon, up to Evans Lookout, about 4k to the first aid station. Pretty stunning scenery though. Please look down aid station, the start of the big descent and big ascent. I'm going to be eating some pikelets. Get ready. Got a nutrition plan on this race. Pikelets. And I've got to get them in on the downhill, so I'm ready for the uphill. It's going to be a lot. Got to go down and up, and then another 4k to an aid station, and then another 17k, and then I get to catch up with John. So, you know, easy. This run has been seriously stunning so far. At least all the views are early enough when I still enjoy them rather than later. Now, man, it is so nice. Bottom of the valley, wet feet time. At the top of the steep bit of the canyon, just some more climbing to go. About a K out from whatever the checkpoint is before Hydro Majestic. I can't remember the name. Been nice forestry trails for a bit. Not better than the steep upgoings to have some variation. Oh, but I need to sit down at the aid station, sort out my nutrition a bit. Haven't been eating enough, and be ready for that 17 odd K push. Oh, to get to see John. Should be very nice.
At this stage, I was, about 6 hours into the run, and my nutrition was starting to fall off. It was starting to get hard to actually keep up that constant, 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, getting food in, making sure I was hitting all those marks. Because I was 17 Ks out from the aid station where I was meeting John, and I was still feeling okay. I knew that I could let my nutrition lapse a little bit, and then I'll be able to pick things up once I got to that aid station. So I wasn't super worried. And the thing that really made a difference for me was that at this stage in the race, I was still feeling really good. I wasn't feeling particularly tired. I was trucking along really well. In Kosciuszko, by the time I got to this stage, I was feeling knackered, like I wanted to sleep. I wanted John to fix me up. Whereas this race is still going along quite nicely.
Not bad. Oh, amazing. Wow. I saw the sign before saying that we're just past the 30k mark of the race. Just have to kind of ignore those for now and not think about it. Getting down to the steep valley. I'm worried about what's on the other side. Back on the fire trail. There's the last climb. Oh, there's a lot of elevation in this thing. A lot of elevation. And there's some big climbs to come. These are the little ones I didn't even notice on the map. But, whew. Yep, they take a bit. Just hit 42k total. 1 marathon down, 3 to go. And about 5k till I see John. Oh. Cheers! At a aid station. Getting fully topped up. Coffee. Soup. And my nutrition. And John is like the king of aid stations now. He had his list. Got me my food. Got my phone charged. Took my headlamp to charge that up. Checked all the different things I needed. Had a safety pin to fix up my my running bib that had gotten loose. He is all over everything. Very good. Very nice to see him. Nice to be topped up. Well, I thought it was a jaunt on the footpath, but it turns out we're back in the forest. Which is nice. It does involve more climbing. First pass, 52k. Oh my god. I didn't realise we came back through this bit. Just leaving the aid station. I won't see John again for another 35k. I am so full of soup and coffee. Oh god. I'll stumble down these steps. It's cleared up, it looks amazing.
This next stage of the race was the one that I was the most worried about beforehand, because I thought we get into that kind of 60 to 90k period. It's when you're feeling quite tired. It's the last big section that I'll have on my own, and I'd heard that it was quite a technical section with the Taros ladder and the way that you had to go through all of that. So I was kind of worried about it. And then once I kicked off on it, it was like the best section of the whole run. It was just beautiful. You were on these amazing forestry roads up on the ridge line. It was really gentle and undulating. Sun was beaming down, beautiful views. It was so good.
Suddenly got very misty and spooky. Apart from the fact that I still feel kind of sick from the amount of soup and coffee in me, this is so nice. Nice trail. Just cruising along. Amazing light, beautiful scenery. Oh, good times. Fire track. I haven't seen anyone for like an hour. No one behind, no one ahead. Just me wandering through the bush. Hopefully I haven't taken a wrong turn. Yeah, still cruising on my own. Oh, really enjoying it though. Power of soup and coffee and flat runnable stretcher road. Milo and a pike float at the aid station, into hivers, into a pole stash for the next bit because we've got some more ladders coming up. Apparently it's hivers for the whole night. Oh, and we've got some technical stuff. Right to the ladder. Yep. It's feeling very Dawn of the Dead. I think the zombies to come up over these hills and out of the mist. Well, it is extremely dark and I'm walking through the forest and there's no one around. That's the update. About 4k till the next aid station. And I need to stop doing this because I can't see anything in front of me. Made it to Foggy's Knob. Nice fire. Starting to feel it. Oh, I just had a little climb to get up here, and yeah, the climbs are hard. The climbs are very hard. There's a big climb coming up. Well, there's a medium climb here. There's a giant climb.
At this stage too, I was noticing when I sat down at the aid stations, by the time I got up to start moving, my legs were starting to seize up a bit. It would take like a little while for me to get going. So yeah, I kind of just, I don't know, sat there, tried to gather myself at the aid station, knowing that the next stop that I got to, I'd have my pacer, which would be amazing. And eventually, I know you just got to move on. So picked up my stuff and got going.
At the aid station. Have my pacer. Okay. Yeah, 90k's down.
At this stage, I was like, I absolutely have the fitness. Like, I will be finishing this race. There's going to be some really tough bits, but yeah, there was no doubt in my mind at this stage that I'd be getting through. I was far enough ahead of my worst case times. I knew that I had the strength still in my legs. Yeah, I knew that I'd be able to get it done. We walked out the 8k and I could see on my watch it was counting down. Oh, we're going to get to the aid station soon, And then I was hunting around. And then just my heart sinking as I was like, there's no lights here. There's nothing. There is not going to be an aid station. We're just going to have to keep going. And yeah, I was pretty sad about it. We got to that turnaround point. And also I thought that because 6 foot track was like an out and then coming back in a little loop, that it was, in my head, it was kind of the same elevation, but actually the way back was way more uphill, like way more uphill than on the way out. So not only did it turn out that it was this big, 15k trek before I got back to an aid station, it was also like I got a bit bamboozled by the elevation that came in as well on the back bit. Got back to 6 foot track aid station, but by this stage it was 4 a.m. and my body knew that it was 4 a.m. I'd been on the go for almost 24 hours and I was just, I was really using, deep reserves of energy. My body wanted to be sleeping. It did not want to be out walking through the forest at night. And the other thing is that I knew the second, biggest climb of the whole race was coming up. The path out, it definitely lulls me into a false sense of security for the start. It was relatively flat, and then when it did start going uphill, it was quite a gentle uphill compared to what I was expecting, and it got a little bit steeper, but it was still fine. And we were walking and my watch is counting down, and we get to where we're like 2.5 k's from the next aid station, and I was like, maybe this whole section wasn't so bad. Maybe I just built it up too much, but actually we've just gone steadily up this hill and it's going to be happy days. I was very wrong. It was that final little bit where it just gets steeper and steeper and steeper, and you start going up steep slope, up a dry riverbed, and then you're onto steps, and then you're onto incredibly steep steps. And yeah, you just have to keep forging on. Now, at this point of the race, Blair had already been with me for 25k, and this is where he'd said he'd pace me up to. It's distance he felt comfortable with. He'd parked his car at the aquatic centre so that he could leave me, get back home and have some rest, and then the plan was that I'll be doing the next 2 sections on my own. And this was originally when it was going to be daytime when I'd be doing that bit, and I thought, the sun will be up, I'll be feeling a bit better, can get through those 2 sections, and then I'll have my final pacer jack for the last bit. But we got to the aquatic centre, it was still dark, it's probably about 6 in the morning, and I knew that the next section, although we were actually up, we'd done that big climb, but the next section was just all this up and down. It had about 800 meters of elevation in this one section, just up and down steps into the canyon, up out of the canyon, into the canyon, up out of the canyon. And yeah, I knew it was going to be very tough, but I didn't want to put the pressure on Blair too much because he'd already done such an outstanding job. So we're in the aid station. I'm trying to sound super casual. I'm like, you're fine to head off. It's all good if you want to go home. And Blair was like, no, I'm going to stay with you. I feel good. I think the next section will be okay. I'll come along. He didn't even say to me, like, would you like me to come or anything. He straight away said that he would do it, which was just, man, it was a relief. It was such a relief. We exited the aid station and I'm all janky and walking terribly because my legs have seized up again, crossing the street in the dark, and I was just like, thank you so much. Thank you for staying with me. I didn't want to do this section on my own. I really didn't.
I made it through the night. We're just 7k past the aquatic centre. I forget where we're heading to. But Blair's still with me.
Great work.
Looking pretty.
We started at that stage, the 50k race had kicked off, and so we had first the elites just like steamed past us, and then we started getting the rest of the runners that were overtaking us as we were going. Sun came up. Man, it's so good when the sun comes up on these races, just the energy boost, and you just absorb it. Like, your body feels alive, you feel ready to go, everything kicks off again. It's just wonderful, like the benefit that happens from the sun coming up. We also then could see the views out over the valley, which I felt really good for Blair, because last time he paced me it was all through the dark as well and he didn't get to see anything.
This section's entirely hills. You get down steps and then you go up steps, and then you go down steps and then you go up steps. 3k to the aid station.
We came up out of the canyons on one of the rises to a lookout point where there were a whole lot of supporters, and they were all banging cowbells and they were all cheering and they're yelling, "Come on, Matt, you're doing a great job, Matt, you're looking so good." And man, what a little ego boost. It was really nice. It just gave me this nice little rise, and we actually started doing some running after that. So not for very long, and it was probably more of a shamble, like shuffle along, but we did start doing some running, which felt really good as well. We got through that stage, got to Fairmont Resort, and this aid station was packed, just completely manic. It was the first aid station that the 50s were going to, so all of their people were there. The milers were coming through. It was just completely overwhelming with the amount of people and all the stuff that's going on. The physical act of like chewing and eating just becomes impossible. Like, you just cannot make yourself take big bites and chew them. I don't know what it is, but it's so hard. You can just take these little mice nibbles on the edge of whatever you're eating, and then chew, and then try to swallow it down, and it's such hard going. It's really hard to make you physically eat the stuff just to get it into your stomach.
Just leaving Fairmont Resort. Saw John, dropped off Blair, I'm on my own 11k to the Queen Vic Hospital. I'll back up Jack for the final stretch. It's a long ass race.
Thanks.
And ready to be done. There's a long time to go.
Made it to the last big aid station where that John could come to, which was the Queen Victoria Hospital. And yeah, that one again, manic, just people everywhere. And that one was where I was suddenly feeling very fragile. Yeah, just kind of holding things together, like mentally gripping on, knowing that we're going to be done soon. There's only a bit to go. But getting to that aid station and my guard coming down a bit, I was just like, I sat down, cried a little bit, asked John for a hug, just needed to feel supported and and looked after. Like, it was never a question of, this is going to be impossible, I can't push on to the, like, I was going, like, there was no question of getting it done, but just feeling quite fragile in the moment, given everything that I'd been through.
We've left the last full aid station. On our way down to then come back up for the finish line. I'm gonna have my fresh pacer. My legs are shattered.
Jack was there ready to go, gained another amazing pacer and knew that he'd be seeing me through to the end. And then when we pushed off, it was onto a steep downhill forest track, which I couldn't work out if walking or running was worse. Walking was really hard on my quads, and then running was really hard. The pads of my feet were just starting to get so sore by this stage. Every step was starting to just be ouchy.
The actual very last aid station before we go up.
We went to the emergency aid station, like the very last aid station of the whole course. I'd kind of screwed up on that as well because I thought that there was only 7k to go from there, but it was actually 9. And over 162k, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're like, that extra 2k, you just go, there's just this little bit more to get done. My stomach was shot at that point. I was like, no, I'm not doing any food. I had a couple of dextrose tablets, had some drink, some water, and then I was like, no, we've got to push on. We are going to get this thing done. And I knew it was just going to be climbing and horrible, like for the next bit. My shins were starting to really be messed up at this point, so anytime we had little downhills, I couldn't point my toes without it really hurting because it just pulled on my shin. The tendon over the top of my feet was starting to really get sore. I knew that I had a big blister on the side of one of my feet that was also being problematic. So yeah, just my legs were getting really trashed, and I knew that we just had this giant climb. We could see the top of it from the bottom, and it felt a very long way away.
We're 3k into this last section, 6k to go, but we're gearing ourselves up for that.
Process for this was to say, okay, we're going to split this into sections. So we're going to do 3k, then we'll have a sit down, then another 3k and a sit down, and then we'll bang out the final bit.
3k to go, taking a break. This is so hard, incredibly hard. We've got steps to come. Neither of our legs are bending the ways they need to go up and down these things. Halfway up, awesome. Further steps. You're alright, take your time. Don't run. Good? We made it up the top. We're just closing on the finish line. Oh, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done.
got a dog in you? Yeah, sure. Oh, my legs! My legs!
It was wonderful. It was just wonderful to finish and feel like I'd been strong for just such a good part of the race. My training had worked really well. I was feeling good. My nutrition had been good, and actually enjoyed like huge chunks of the race. Yeah, this race was overall just really nice, beautiful scenery. Like, I cannot stress how nice the scenery and just so many of the trails were. But it was nice just to have a big long race that, yeah, I felt good about. I felt good about for the vast majority. That last bit I knew was going to be tough, and it was. It was like, yeah, but you got to get through that. But before then, pretty happy days. Yeah, got through. I got to pick my beautiful clapsticks made by a local artist, which was wonderful. Got my medal. I do really like that they give you a little gift plus they give you the medal, because there's just something nice about getting the medal as well. And then we went through to the recovery zone. The one thing I found really surprising for the 2 races I've done in Australia is that they don't actually check you over afterwards. When I did Taupo, Tarawera, and at the end of those long races, you actually have someone, I don't know if they're a doctor or nurse, that wants to volunteer, but they actually give you a once over, check how you are. Both of those races, they weigh you at the start and at the end as well to make sure that your kidney function stuff is all going okay. And they give you a bit of a talk to, see how you're feeling, which feels kind of important when you've gone through all of that. Your body's wrecked. You're probably at your most vulnerable when you finish up. And these ones, they have a recovery zone, but it's basically just like another rest area. They had more pot noodles there. I was like, oh my God, I cannot do more pot noodles. We're going to leave here.
So that's the day after finishing the race. Man, it was so good to finish. It was a hard course, so much elevation. It was long, and I did it feeling pretty good. It's been a really cool experience. Yeah, it's been a good race. Something I'm glad I've done. I worked hard for it, and I did it. And it was not easy. And that feels good too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And I said to afterwards that I kind of wanted to prove that running these things isn't a fluke, that I can actually do it. You've always got to keep proving to yourself, I am actually an ultra runner. And I feel like an ultra runner at the moment. I feel like I've done a good job. And it's good to conquer like that level of challenge of a course. I know it's just a wonderful sport. I like it. It's quite bizarre. Yeah, people definitely don't understand why you do it. I possibly still don't quite understand why I do it, but it's a good time. I like it.